The landscape of the United States of America is a palimpsest, more accurately described as a parchment that has been scraped clean and written over. But under the surface, the faint and tenacious ghosts of Praia Teles are still evident. The cities, villages, and communities that have been abandoned are not just collections of deteriorating wood and stone. Rather, they are open-air museums of lost futures that have been frozen in time and whisper secrets of ambition, folly, and the unrelenting, changing tides of history. It is necessary to comprehend them in order to comprehend that a city does not perish all at once. There is a curious alchemy that takes place in slow motion, where the busy streets are transformed into quiet canyons, and the patient, reclaiming power of nature takes the place of the exuberant energy of human existence. Let's investigate the peculiar and eerie reasons why these contemporary ruins exist, and we'll classify them not only according to the original cause, but also according to the ghosts that they left behind. 1. The remains of resources that have been lost. The bust of Boomtown. This is the traditional Western story, but the facts behind it is far more complex than a straightforward conclusion about the gold rush. Consider the town of Centralia, which is located in Pennsylvania. Its narrative is not just about coal. Rather, it is about a foundation that is literally built on fire. In the year 1962, a normal landfill burn caused an exposed coal seemed to catch fire, which resulted in the total destruction of the soil underneath the town. In addition to the streets themselves being a danger, the earth began to smolder, and vents began to release noxious odors. Not only did Centralia exhaust its supply of resources, but it also turned into a sacrifice zone for its own people. What had been the source of its existence, the earth, turned out to be its executioner. Today, a roadway that is covered in graffiti wends its way through a forest that is engulfed in steam. This strange monument is a testament to a community that was quite literally devoured by the reason it came into being. In a similar vein, the town of Rhyolite, Nevada, which is located close to Death Valley and is known for its silver mining. It offers a narrative of meteoric ascent and stunning collapse. There was a stock exchange, an opera theater, and electric lighting when it was at its height of popularity. On the other hand, the financial crisis that occurred in 1907 sealed its destiny when the ore samples were reassessed and discovered to be less wealthy than what had been claimed. It is not just miners that haunt it, but also speculators and dreamers who do so as well. The eerie remains of the Cook Bank building, which is a 3-story shell made of concrete and stone that stands against the sky of the desert, seem to be less of a failing enterprise and more of a shrine to a god of prosperity that has since disappeared. 2. When the automobile came to a halt, the ghost of the engine appeared. During the 20th century, which was the age of industry, several cities were constructed not for the purpose of mining minerals, but rather for a single, overarching objective. For example, Gary, Indiana, U.S. Steel established it in 1906 with the intention of establishing it as a model industrial city. Its population increased over the course of many decades, and its blast furnaces illuminated the night sky. However, Gary's destiny was intertwined with a double-edged sword, and that was globalization and automation. The engine of the city began to sputter as a result of the relocation of steel manufacturing elsewhere, which needed fewer personnel. The result is a spooky donut effect, which is characterized by a hollowed-out center of enormous Art Deco structures that are deteriorating, such as the Gary United Methodist Church and the City Methodist Church, and are surrounded by communities that are experiencing difficulties. The shadow of post-industrial America is the ghost that haunts this location. It serves as a potent reminder of what occurs when the corporate town outlives the corporation. 3. The Drowned Valleys, also known as the ghost of the current. There are some of the most significant ruins in the United States that are hidden from view, hidden under the tranquil waters of man-made lakes. Valleys in their entirety were sacrificed in the service of development and expansion of power. As part of the Tennessee Valley Authority's TVA first major project in the 1930s, Norris Lake was created by flooding many villages, including Lewiston, Tennessee. Lewiston was one of the communities that was inundated. In order to prevent the floods from rising, the settlements were destroyed in a methodical manner, and the tombs were unearthed and transferred. The specter that haunts this place is one of planned and purposeful elimination. The bones of the old world reappear on rare times during droughts. These bones include the foundations of dwellings that have been gone for a very long time, the cracked bed of the ancient roadway, and the ghostly trace of a town square on the lake bed, among other things. These are not the result of historical accidents. Rather, they are the result of deliberate obsolescence on a massive scale. They are a demonstration of the challenging decision that must be made between community, advancement, and the eradication of a way of life. 4. The Spectre of Hope describes the community that was planned but never built. It's possible that the ghost that never really existed is the most distinctively contemporary of all ghosts. The cities of the future, that were constructed on the basis of commercial hype rather than human necessity, are the advancements that are considered to be hypothetical. The futuristic domes, known as the bubble houses of Cape Romano, which were constructed in the 1980s and are now partially submerged and decaying in the Gulf of Mexico, are located in the state of Florida. The natural elements have corroded a personal fantasy that they symbolize. On a bigger scale, the housing crisis that occurred in 2008 left behind whole subdivisions such as the Mansion of Versailles in Florida, which was an unfinished mega-mansion that was 90,000 square feet in size and remained as a huge shell for years. Rather than being haunted by memories, these locations are haunted by the absence of memories. They are monuments to a future that was promised, sold, and then suddenly canceled. They are a piece of history. This phantom limb of prosperity that never manifested is the ghost that we are talking about here. The more intricate mysteries. What do these locations have to tell us? The ultimate enigma that lies behind the abandoned cities of the United States is not the reason why they were abandoned, but rather what they continue to say. They serve as a harsh and tangible reminder that no civilization, no of how strong or technologically adept it may be, is everlasting. They are a memento mori. One might be humbled by the sight of the vines that are breaking the pavement in Detroit. They serve as laboratories of change, and ecologists study them in order to observe the process of nature's reclamation, which is referred to as ruinology. In order to have a better understanding of social breakdown and resilience, sociologists examine them. We may use them as blank slates for our imaginations. Photography enthusiasts, urban explorers, and those who narrate stories consider these locations to be holy. The quiet is not devoid of meaning. Rather, it is replete with possible tales. Every object, whether it is a child's sneaker in a dusty classroom, a rusty automobile in a garage, or a calendar stuck on a month from 50 years ago, represents a moment in time that has been frozen, a tale that is waiting to be finished. Remember that the next time you see an image of a worn cottage in a ghost town or drive by the skeleton remnants of a factory on the fringe of a metropolis, you shouldn't only see deterioration. You should also notice decomposition. Be a part of the enormous, continuous, and unexpected tale that is the United States of America. Failures are not what these locations are. Rather, they are the resolute and unyielding echoes of the aspirations that served as the foundation for a country, and they teach the silent but strong lesson that everything, even cities, must inevitably return to the soil eventually.